Hello and welcome to another Edexcel iGCSE ICT past paper question. This is the specimen paper. We haven't looked at this before. What this is Edexcel have put out an example, a specimen exam paper before, well, at the start of when they released the course, before they had any exam papers to release, to show students and teachers what the exam would look like and to give the people taking the exam, first examination, June 2019, an idea of what the questions would look like. So we're going to do the whole of this paper in a series of videos, paper 1 and paper 2, and I'm going to post a link in the video to this paper so you can look at it for yourself. And we're going to jump in and start with question 1. Question 1A. Smart speakers use embedded microprocessors. Give one other example of a device that uses an embedded microprocessor. Now, you can have so many things here. Digital cameras, DVD players, cars. There's at least 50 in the modern car. But I've chosen my favourite one here, which is washing machine. B. Which one of these is a measurement of processor speed? Processor is the brain of the computer, the CPU. So how do we measure it? We don't measure it in kilobytes. Don't measure it in dots per inch. CPU is the actual name of it, but we measure it in gigahertz. Cycles per second, gigahertz. So the answer is, that question is D. Scrolling down now to C. Which one of these digital communications has the greatest bandwidth? Infrared, NFC, near field communication, Wi-Fi, or 3G? The answer here is C. Is Wi-Fi. It's always going to have the greatest bandwidth, much far greater than 3G. D. Which one of these would be used to secure data exchanged in a network? Is it A. Access right, B. Copyright, C. Encryption, or D. Compression? Securing data, we're looking at encryption, scrambling the data so it doesn't make sense. And that is the answer to D. It is encryption. E. Draw a diagram to show how a Wi-Fi router can be used with a gateway to provide a smart speaker with an internet connection. Label each component of your diagram. Your diagram has got to include the smart speaker. So I'm going to start writing smart speaker. I'm not able to draw easily with the tools I've got. I'm just going to label it. And as I'm not able to draw, I'm just going to write down what I would draw. So, connected to Wi-Fi router with waves. That would need to be connected to the Wi-Fi router with waves. And I'm going to put my Wi-Fi router here. Okay, so I'd need to represent the waves, a wave there coming across. Then, router to either include or be connected to a gateway. What is a gateway? A gateway is a link between your network at home, your local area network, and the wide area network, also known as the internet. So think of it as a gate to a field, gateway. It's like the gateway to a compound or something like that. It lets you in. So it's a gateway to your local area network from the wider area network. So we need the gateway there and all devices and connections in the correct order. So the gateway would be connected by wires to the router. The router would be connected wirelessly to the smart speaker with waves. And that would gain me 4 marks for that question. F. Describe how tethering could be used to give the smart speaker access to the internet. Now, what you're doing with tethering is you're using another internet connected device to provide the internet connection to the smart speaker. So, tethering allows the smart speaker to use the connectivity to share the connection to the internet provided by another device. So I'm just going to construct my answer here. So, tethering allows a smart speaker to use the internet connection of another device. So I'm just checking my spelling there. Oh, I managed to delete that. Either via Bluetooth or wirelessly. G, explain why a smart speaker uses ROM. 2 marks. What does it use ROM for? It uses ROM, read-only memory, to store its system software that is built in the factory. It's firmware that cannot be changed. So read-only memory is created in the factory, produced in the factory, and cannot be changed. It does not need to be changed. So we're talking about it cannot be changed because why? ROM is, and you need to understand this term, non-volatile. Okay, it's non-volatile. It means it does not need an electrical current to store data. It's non-volatile. So when you switch the computer off, the contents of the ROM are still there. Right, let's move on to H. One benefit to users streaming music rather than download it is reduced cost. Explain one other benefit to users streaming music rather than downloading it. So we stream music, we think about YouTube, Spotify, and other platforms. Downloading it, we're thinking about iTunes. We've got to pay for the track, and I don't know how much it is these days. It used to be 99 pence per track that you paid. So cost is already covered there. What are the other benefits? Okay, well, you're thinking about saving space on the device. Okay, so it saves space on the device. I don't need to store the track on my device. So I save space on the device. Can listen to the track straight away. Don't need to download it first. So if you're out on the go and you can't easily download tracks, you want to listen to some new music, you can just simply stream it because it's available straight away. Some people cannot access the internet because of technical faults. There's 3 other causes of lack of access to the internet. Okay, so we're thinking about the digital divide now. And we're thinking about things like lack of infrastructure. Maybe they live in a restricted place. I'm just trying to think how to spell infrastructure there. So lack of infrastructure. Okay. Live in a place that has limited broadband, for example. Or because of political reasons, their internet is restricted. It's the type of country they live in. Cause 2, the old classic here, lack of understanding of how to use / benefits. So we can all think of someone, maybe an older person, who could save loads of money. In the UK, you can save at least £500 a year by shopping around using the internet on your bills, on things that you buy. So it could be lack of understanding how to use it and what exactly the benefits are going to be. It causes some people not to use it. Cause 3, perhaps cannot afford access. Simply can't afford to get online, cannot afford access. There is a cost to it. Some people just simply cannot afford that. And we're into the final question, J. List 2 benefits to music companies of using the internet to distribute music. Okay, well, you've got a wider marketplace. So rather than your own country, you now open that up to the wider world. And it's a much bigger marketplace that you open yourself up to. Also thinking about as well, reduced packaging, warehouse costs, reduced cost of packaging, environmental cost reduction, no need to keep stock, etc. There's loads you could put there, but we're just going to stick with 2, and that's 2 marks. So that concludes question 1. 19 marks. Big chunk of the 100 this is worth. Thanks very much for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing. I'd be really, really grateful if you could subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next ICT video next week. Bye bye for now.